Hey there, and welcome to the Partner Pulse, your quick hit of insight into how Intellistack and our partners are tackling real-world challenges together. I'm David Moeller, and joining me today is Tyler from Aleysian. Let's hit 4 rapid-fire questions. Sound good?
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming, Tyler. And let's kick things off with an easy one. Just give us the elevator pitch on Aleysian and tell me what you do there.
I am a partner at Aleysian focused on education. Aleysian's been in and around the SFDC space for over 20 years. We're headquartered in Chicago, 50 plus US-based staff. We specialize in med tech, high tech manufacturing. And as I came on board, I'm leading our education practice, specifically focused in higher education. We have completed over 300 projects and have over 100 certifications across our talented staff.
Fabulous, Tyler. So, we obviously play in the higher education space as well, and I know that we've done a lot of cool things together. Would you mind telling me like a favorite joint customer story or a use case we collaborated on together that was a lot
Yeah,
of fun?
absolutely. Right. So, I used to be a client of Intellistack, right? So I'm very intimately familiar with the platform. But now as we start to work with other universities and other clients, we're seeing a great use case across many institutions, but one comes to mind around this notion of service and service at scale. So the relationship between the student needing to render some type of service or needing help, and the relationship that has to streamlining the workflow and case management and service management to that faculty or staff member. I'm thinking specifically about a client where we're doing this at an enterprise scale. The relationship between a student who might be reporting a problem across a student conduct or the police department or student affairs and student success organizations, and creating a streamlined form in which that can go through workflows and streamline both the burden on the student with the user experience and the administrative overhead that typically administrators and university staff find themselves in rendering that service. So a good middle layer of meeting the students where they are with reducing the friction or the student experience and maximizing the reach of a lot of those staff and faculty members to be able to render that service when the student needs it.
Absolutely. And look, we know that especially in higher ed, people have to stretch their dollar and do more or more with less. So what you're speaking to is, things we've heard 1,000 times as well. You kind of mentioned this a little bit, but could you elaborate on just like what is it that makes Aleysian and Intellistack great partners?
Yeah, I think we understand the challenges that the universities face. So we can come Aleysian with the relationship that we have to the university, the challenges that they're facing, dialogue with the administrators and with the university leaders, and coming to them both with the knowledge of how to execute that across the Salesforce platform, but powered by the Intellistack technology to be able to drive some of their business needs, and doing it in a smart way. So I think that's been the success we've had in engaging with our universities and our education partners.
Fabulous. Okay, last question, then we'll get you out of here. You mentioned you're an expert in higher education. It's an industry that's been evolving. It's a very dynamic space. What are some upcoming predictions you have for the higher education space, or even more opportunities for digital transformation?
Yeah, I think right now, more important than ever is the focus on efficiency, right? Universities are under an extreme amount of pressure to be more efficient with the resources they have. A lot of ways that organizations will reimagine efficiency is through technology, but you just don't stop there. You have to reimagine the staff that are attendant to managing that technology, to helping to scale some of the problems and some of the solutions that you have. My prediction is that typical in our COVID era was the investment in technology to drive through that change. I think there is going to be a similar but different emphasis on efficiencies in the investment in technologies to use their dollars more wisely, use their staff and faculty more wisely, and that these technologies that we work in every single day are going to facilitate that. I also think that AI is going to come at the forefront of this notion of efficiency, this notion of doing more with less across the pressures that institutions have. The institutions that are ready for it are going to see those efficiency gains immediately. And we're seeing that with our partners who are investing early in Agentforce and investing early in AI, both supportive and assistive technology.
Yep, yep. We're hearing that too. The great SaaS hangover by all the point solutions that were adopted in COVID.
Yeah,
Tech companies better they better bring their A game if they want to stick around in
and
the vendor consolidation era.
I talk to higher ed leaders all the time about this, and you know, it's not just in education, it's across multiple different industries, but education becomes kind of the focal point for, unfortunately, buying software and buying solutions one problem at a time, right? And if you back up and you take a look, many institutions will find themselves buying one problem at a time that culminate to an enterprise investment, right? So if you take a look back and you determine, well, we've made 100 investments across $10,000 pointed investments, pointed systems, you've essentially found yourself in an enterprise investment across $1 million. So those are conversations we have every day around spending money more wisely. It's this notion of efficiency. It's this notion of scalability. It's this notion of using less staff across more domains and more channels and more issues across campus. So it's certainly not something that's only unique to higher education. Higher education finds themselves sometimes in a position where they're focused on pointed solutions and not always on enterprise solutions.
Well, there you go. Tyler from Aleysian. Tyler, thank you so much for stopping by the Partner
Absolutely.
Pulse, where we are solving the world's problems a few minutes at a
Yes,
time.
sir.
Please be sure to grab some Portillos for me and a hot dog in Chicago. I miss them dearly. And
That's right.
Tyler, we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Dave.